So, I just wanted to introduce myself. My name is Michelle Bard, and my company is called Kent Equine Facilitated / Assisted Learning. So, we have been in operation now for coming up to 2 years. And what we do is we connect with young people who are struggling, for want of a better word, to connect with society and community and school. And that's our main target and our main priority. We work with pupil referral unit schools. We have children that are brought over by parents or social workers as a referral, and we work with local schools too, so the technology academies and Roe Hill School and things like that, schools like that. So the main reason why I do equine facilitated learning is because I myself had some emotional trauma and tragedy, and had different types of counselling for those things, and I've always owned horses myself, so I found that I got a lot of connection and sort of neutralising through the horses. But I went for equine therapy myself and had a huge benefit and a turnaround in the way I managed my emotional energy. And so I decided, being a PE teacher for a long time, I decided that it was time for a career change. So I decided to train in this area and set up my business. So in the session that you're looking at the moment, the two young girls are both very much children that would generally isolate from the world. They have found mainstream school pretty much struggle. One of them, when she first came to me, was going to be put onto the sort of at risk for school removal list by the school, and the mum brought her over and we had one-to-one sessions, and from the one-to-one sessions we went up to the group sessions. So there was a more of a group connection, and now we've gone back to groups of two with these two young girls, just because they're very anxious about the current situation we find ourselves in with the risk of COVID. So there's a lot going on here. So in this session, the young girls were working with the horses. They had a challenge to be able to meet the challenge at the same time. So if one of them could do the challenge, it wasn't, that wasn't the answer. It was that they could both do it at the same time. So if you notice, there's no ropes on these horses. The horses are being led by intention and connection. So there's lots of distractions whilst this is going on. We've got other horses around that are really working hard to distract these young girls from achieving their challenge, which was to put each horse in one of the boxes that they'd created. It was up to them to design their box. This video goes on for 11 minutes, but actually if you were to watch this video all the way to the end, you'd see lots of emotional stuff coming out. So at the end of, once this video is recorded, the main thing that we do is we then sit and we watch and we talk about what was going on for us at different times. And it's, when it's a long activity like this, it's quite difficult for the girls to sort of take everything in. Using the horses as a stimulus for conversation is really, really effective. Some children do not want to talk about themselves, and their own internal dialogue can be quite difficult, but when children are talking and they have something else to focus on, they bring their stuff into the conversation, but they put it onto the horses. They also connect with horses that have similar backgrounds and similar situations to them. They find that they bond with the horses that have had trauma in their lives too. So that's always quite interesting as well to see. So these two girls have been coming to me for over a year, and the progress has been amazing.
My son has been attending weekly one-to-one sessions with Michelle for almost a year now. Equine therapy was introduced to me by a friend who, like myself, had a child struggling with the challenges of everyday life. My son had been diagnosed with ADHD, sensory processing disorder, amongst other issues often experienced as an adopted child. It was clear to us as parents that he was crying out for a safe yet free-spirited environment where he felt able to just be himself. Michelle introduced him to the idea of exploring the power of his own energy through interaction with the horses, helping him to become more in tune with himself and those around him. Over time, his confidence has grown so much. Not only has he found a new love of wildlife, nature, not to mention chucking himself headfirst into hay bales, but he's also found a positive way of challenging his thoughts and emotions. My son would, without doubt, say that this has become the best part of his week, and for us as parents, a lifeline accessing much needed understanding and support. Parenting any child can be challenging at times, let alone one with complex additional needs. So thank you so much, Michelle, for what you do and how much you care.
So it's good to hear back from parents. Definitely it gives us a massive boost with what we're doing, and it's lovely when we do get parents who are committed to their children's sessions and see the equine learning as something that is integral to their young person's life, and then we get a very big reward, a very big turnaround where young people are able to look at what the horses are doing and completely connect their behaviour to the horses and the horses' behaviour, because the horses will and do mirror what's going on internally for us. Being that they're prey animals, they are picking up on all of our internal responses, and if we are having adrenaline levels running around our body, then the horses do tend to want to leave, walk away, because they're not feeling as safe, being that they are prey animals. So they're picking up on smells, they can hear your heartbeat. So there's lots and lots of ways that we can assess how a person is feeling, even though they may be saying that everything's good and they're feeling fine and happy. It's usually the horses that are the guidance in the early stages of people's behaviour and how they are describing how they behave. So there is so much that a young person get from equine learning. So we've had lots of success stories particularly where people who were going to be removed from school have managed to not only stay in school, but also stay in school, complete their exams, and manage to take themselves to college and to do those things that people just didn't expect them to do. So yeah, lots of success stories. So if you would like any more information about what we do at Kent Equine Assisted Learning, Kent Equine Facilitated Learning, please do get in touch. You can find us on Google, you can find us on Facebook, and you can also find us on Instagram. And you can email thelittlehorsyard@gmail.com to send an email to us. So looking forward to more of the same, looking forward to being able to develop our business further and to create more connections for young people who are finding everyday life a little bit challenging or even extremely challenging. Thanks so much for listening. Oh, amazing. goosebumps moment.